Welcome to JavaScript The Basics. In this section, we're going to look at objects. In this lesson, we're going to look at object literal notation. What is an object in JavaScript? An object is a value type consisting of key-value pairs. JavaScript has two main value types, primitives and objects. What is a primitive in JavaScript? Strings, numbers, booleans, null, undefined, and with ES6, we have symbols. So anything that isn't a primitive is an object. That means JavaScript has a lot of objects, including arrays and functions that we will look at later. Most everyday items can help us to understand how JavaScript objects work. Whether it is a TV, a bathtub, or a car, you can turn just about anything around you into a JavaScript object. We're going to have some vocabulary changes when we talk about objects that will be important to remember as you learn to think and talk in JavaScript. In an object, variables become known as properties. If a variable is part of an object, it is called a property. Properties tell us about the object, such as the name of a hotel or the number of rooms it has. In an object, functions become known as methods. If a function is part of an object, it is called a method. Methods represent tasks that are associated with the object. We're going to dive deeper into functions and methods in a later lesson. Let's look at creating an object. JavaScript gives us a few ways to create objects. In this lecture, we will look at object literal notation. This is as simple as using two curly braces and placing key value pairs within those curly braces with commas separating the key value pairs. Let's go ahead and build a car. Our object is now created, but there isn't anything in it. It's a car with no parts and no features. Let's go ahead and brainstorm. What does our car have? We need 4 wheels, red paint, fuel efficiency, engine, and a gas tank. Let's add these items between the opened and closed curly braces. Objects are full of property values or key value pairs. In JavaScript, the keys are also known as properties, and we can use those terms interchangeably when we're talking about objects. The key, or properties, don't need single or double quotes, though they may have them as long as it is a valid JavaScript variable. We will see later how we can add property names that would be invalid variable names, but surround them with quotes. Note that between each key value pair, you have a comma except for the ending key value pair. Now, there are other ways to build a car. As soon as we have declared our object, we can add properties via dot and bracket notation. It'll take a second to grasp, but should sink in quickly with use. First, we'll make sure that our object is declared as we show how to build with both dot and bracket notation. Let's go ahead and start building with dot notation first. We simply follow the formula of naming the object that we've created, then we put a dot, and then we name the property, and we assign it a value. These are our parts we're going to access with dot notation. The object is car, the property we want to add is wheels, and the value is the number 4. Again, the object is car, the property we want to add is color, and the value is the string red, and so on. If we type this into the console, as you will in the lab, we'll get the same result. Now, let's build the same car with bracket notation. Make sure that we've declared the object, var car equals open and closing curly braces. Now to add properties and values with bracket notation, we'll follow a formula similar to dot notation. We'll start with the declared object, then instead of a dot, we'll put an open and closing square brackets with single or double quotes within them, and the property name within that. After that, we'll assign the value. As in our dot notation example, if we were to put this in our console, we would find that this returns the same car. In our next video, we're going to take a deeper look at dot and bracket notation and see how they can access and even change values in our object. Thanks for joining me in looking at object literal notation. Now let's drive off into our challenges, and I'll see you in the lab.